Kia ora everybody and welcome back to the kitchen. I went and did my groceries today and was just absolutely appalled at some of the prices here. I went to go and get a block of cheese, you know, like a 1 kilo block of cheese, because our family here are like cheese lovers, and it was $17. $17 for a block of cheese. It's just crazy. So we thought for the next few weeks we're going to be doing some meals on a budget so that we can start to look at reusing some of those leftovers that we've got in the fridge, or making something stretch. So works for me anyway. This what we used to do when we had all our kids at home and things, and my husband was the only one that was working, was we stretched everything. So I've got a cup and a half of breadcrumbs in here, and I've just found some bread rolls which we had the other day which have gone a bit stale, and I chucked them through the food processor. If you haven't got a food processor, just like grate them, you know, or break them up as finely as you can. I've also got about half a cup of pickle, leftover pickle. You know that pickle that nobody eats in the fridge? Yeah, well, we're going to use that. If you haven't got any pickle or any relish or anything like that, then use half a cup of tomato sauce. It'll be perfectly fine, because we want our meatloaf to be, oh, we're making meatloaf, surprise, we're making meatloaf. We want our meatloaf to be nice and juicy, not dry. So in here I have got some mustard, some it's called garlic. It's called garlic, and some Worcestershire sauce. That always gets me, that name. Worcestershire sauce, just to add some flavour. And I'm going to put it all in here and give it a mix. I also chopped up in our food processor probably about two medium to small size onions. Okay, so I'm going to put all this together and mix it up and get ready to incorporate the meat and things. So let me do that and I'll show you what that looks like in a moment. Okay, I've mixed that up and it's a nice moist mixture. Okay, it hasn't like absorbed everything and it isn't too dry, so that works for me. I've also got a carrot here which I've grated up, which we're going to add in here. Again, just to bulk things out and make sure that our kids that don't like eating veggies are getting something. And I'm going to chuck in an egg. Okay. After that I'm going to give it a salt and pepper. There's nothing worse than bland food that hasn't been seasoned. And then I'm going to throw in my mince. I've got a kilo of mince here, and it's just the just sort of the standard mince that we've got here at the moment. It's not the expensive beef. And I'm going to throw that in and I'm going to mix that up, okay? And I'll show you what that looks like in a minute, because you don't want to watch me like squishing my fingers through meat, do you? Okay, right. See you soon. I've mixed everything up the best that I could. That actually took a little bit of a workout, and that took probably about 5 minutes to really incorporate everything so that you weren't going to have pockets of like breadcrumbs. Okay, nobody wants pockets of breadcrumbs. So again, you know, this is a good time to be able to use any leftovers that you've got in the fridge, like your veggies and things like that. Zucchinis, although zucchinis are on the verge of getting really expensive here, but you could put in things like marrow or grated marrow, or mushrooms if you've got them, anything like that that you can chop up and put into your meatloaf. Just do you. Whatever your flavour is, whatever your thing is, whatever you've got, use that. Okay, and remember also, this is my theory, if it smells good, it should taste good, and this smells really good. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to mold it into a shape that's going to work here. That's going to look like a meatloaf, really. So let me do that, and then we'll talk afterwards, okay? Okay, this is done. This is what it looks like. This is how I've done it. And can you see how flat it is? It's actually probably about yay thick, because we don't want it to be too thick, otherwise we're going to be here forever. Okay, and we want it to actually cook. That would be good, and we'd like to be able to eat it tonight. So I'm going to leave that there for a moment, and I'm going to make up my sauce. Okay, so let me go get the ingredients and things like that, and I'll show you what that looks like. See you soon. meat's ready. What I forgot to tell you is to make sure that you've compacted it as much as possible, because you don't want any like air bubbles in it, things like that. It will tend to fall to bits, and it could possibly fall to bits when I cut it up. Just throwing that out there, but it won't matter, will it? Okay, right, I've got in here a quarter of a cup of brown sugar, some garlic and some tomato sauce, and I'm going to mix that up, and I'm going to mix it up with a bit of vinegar. Now just use whatever vinegar you've got. I just happen to have this in here, that's fine. If you've got white vinegar, use that. If you've got malt vinegar, use that. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit of a dash of that, and I'll tell you what you'll have all the quantities that you need, and I'm just going to give it a mix up. Yum, that smells so good. Okay, can you see that? Smells great. Okay, and I'm just going to put some lovingly on top of this to add some flavour. Yum! And then I've already got the oven heated. I've got the oven heated at 200 degrees. Surprise! 200 degrees on fan bake, and I'm going to throw this in there, and probably after half an hour I'm going to check it and baste it again with this sauce. Okay, so we don't want to put it all on top because it'll probably end up by burning, and we don't want like a super burnt crust, but we do want it to be flavoured. So let me sort that out. Oh, this is just like a work of art, food art. And then we'll go from there, eh? This has just come out of the oven, and I've just given it a quick baste. It's been cooking for about half an hour, and I'm just going to put some more of this beautiful sauce on, and I'm going to put it back in the oven and probably cook for another 15 minutes. It's green, kids, it wasn't me killing anybody. And then I'm going to throw in all the veg that we've chopped up, you know, like potato and kumara and pumpkin and things like that, and just put it around the dish so that it can cook in some of the fat that's coming from, that's been rendered from this meat. So let me pop it back in the oven, and I'll see you soon, eh? Right, meatloaf's cooking in there, and I've just added my veggies in around the edge of the meatloaf. In another probably about 15 minutes, I'm going to pull it out again and baste it for the last time, and toss my veg around so that so that they're covered in the juices and things like that, and it gets an even coat. It's, you know, there's a real difference between steamed veg and like beautifully roasted veg, so I'm all in for the beautifully roasted veg. Now I've got some leftovers here, some breadcrumbs and some carrot that I didn't use. I'm just going to chuck it all together and stick it in the deep freeze so that I can use it next time I'm making like minced patties and things like that for hamburgers or whatever. Okay, so don't waste any of this. Okay, see you soon when it comes out, eh? Okay, check that out. Look how good that looks. Can you see that? Look at that. All that sauce, and it's nice and juicy. It's firm, you know, like it's not falling to pieces, and it's just beautiful. So oh, that is so good. That is so good. If you haven't had a meatloaf like this, and buddy, you're missing out. So that's our dinner tonight, and that's us for the week. And hope you guys are well, and hope you guys are safe. Let's look at saving some money in the next month by doing some really good, easy, cost-effective meals, eh? So take it easy, be kind to each other, and we'll see you soon. Ka kite anō.